Hello there. You're probably not wondering, is this her first video? Because if you're here at the beginning, then yes, it's pretty obvious it is. The joy of which is that I will be making a ton of mistakes, which are super funny. Probably. I will get better. Definitely. And hopefully we will all get to have a lot of fun along the way. So, this channel is all about writing, learning, and creating new projects. So if that is your cup of tea, how about you stick around and join me on this journey together? Today, we are going to be looking at some writing concepts. In particular, we are going to be looking at character. Now, this is the most easy to understand and yet complex to understand part of the writing process, because everyone knows that every story has to have a character. I mean, just take a moment, humor me, think about it. What is your favorite book? What is your favorite movie? What is your favorite video game? Any of these and all of these require characters. And the success or failure of a particular book, movie, TV show, or video game heavily relies on the characters. So let's take a quick look at a few examples of how we can make these good characters that can be survivable across whatever genre is your preference.
Katniss is a great example of a dynamic character. She started the book with some skills that she needed to face her challenges, but she became more sure of herself, tougher, stronger, and went from being just surviving to a hero. Dynamic means growing and changing throughout the course of the book. The opposite of a dynamic character is a static character. Sherlock Holmes is a static character. Throughout his stories, he remains who he is. He's consistently neurotic, brilliant, and solving mysteries. He doesn't get more or less of any of those traits. He is an amazing character, but he is static. He isn't changing over the course of the novel. Similar to dynamic and static characters, there are flat and round characters. Flat characters are one-dimensional. They have one or two strong characteristics, but they lack depth. Gandalf is a wizard who fights for good. And where we know he must have more to him, we just don't get the opportunity to see it. That means that he's a flat character, even though, once again, he's still a good character. Usually you want to avoid doing flat characters if you are writing a story, but Gandalf is the proof that sometimes you can still have a good character, even if they're flat. The opposite of that is round characters. Round characters have depth and backgrounds. Like Harry Potter, we learn about Harry's life before the story even began. We also get to see his feelings all the time. Some of that is just because of the point of view the story is written in, but it's no less important, and it really helps to make him a round character. All characters fulfill roles. There are so many different roles that show up in stories consistently, but none is probably more popular than the hero. Heroes come in all forms, and some clearly are very good, and some aren't so clearly very good. Batman is a not goody two-shoes version of a hero, but everyone agrees that that is his role, because when it comes down to it, he's there to save Gotham and keep them safe, even if he's a little bit more broody than some of the more happy-go-lucky type heroes. Another type of role is the mentor role. A great example of a mentor role is Iroh. Most stories have some kind of mentor, and Iroh definitely fits the bill. He willingly took on a life in exile to continue to stand by Zuko. He balances out Zuko's emotions all the time. He lets him make mistakes, but also helps him to learn from them so that he doesn't have to make those same mistakes again. And he helps him pick him up when he happens to trip and fall down. And then he's very literally a mentor in the fact that he is Zuko's mentor for firebending. Characters also serve a function. The function of characters is how they help to prolong or add to the plot. They help make the story more interesting so that you want to keep going all the way until the end. Handsome Jack is always ready to drop a new problem in your lap with a nonchalant and witty sense of humor. That makes you more motivated to go through the rest of the story, either because you're like, I really want to see what he's going to do next, or man, I really want to get that guy to shut up. Either way, it works. He's fulfilling his function as a character by making you motivated to continue with the story. Similarly, relationships are super important for characters. Relationships are like the glue of a story. If a character is not in a relationship, a friendship, a family relationship, a romantic relationship, then the story is much less interesting. I won't rabbit trail too much over all the characters in the Dragon Age series, although they're all so good. But Varric is a great example of relationships. You get to see it in the casual banter that the characters have when you're traveling around in the different maps and settings that are available in the game. And you also see it in the little pieces of information that you get about his background. If you're first meeting him in Dragon Age 2, you don't get a lot about his background, but you get to see how he interacts with the characters around you and your character. You get a lot more background for him in Dragon Age Inquisition, but no spoilers from me.
So, as you can see, it can be a little bit more complex to actually create a character than it might be to understand the full concept of the character. We all understand that characters exist, and on a basic level, we know what they are. I hope that these examples were very helpful for you in order to find out what makes a character a good character that's going to help push your project forward versus one that might be holding your writing back. If you have any questions about characters or have some great advice to share for the community I'm hoping we're going to build here, please leave that in the comment section below. Otherwise, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I really hope to see you in the next one.